Manila, Philippines, a city where tradition and innovation collide, and where the heartbeat of a nation pulses through every crowded street and sunrise. In a stunning turn of events, a team of Filipino doctors, long underestimated and often overlooked on the global stage, has achieved the unthinkable, capturing the world's attention with their groundbreaking work. At the prestigious Global Medical Innovation Summit in Geneva, they didn't just compete, they redefined what it means to achieve medical excellence, standing shoulder to shoulder with the world's best and brightest. This wasn't a victory won with billion-dollar grants, cutting-edge technology, or gleaming laboratories. Instead, it was a triumph born from resourcefulness, creativity, and the will to overcome adversity. Their innovations were forged in the heat of rural clinics, where every day brought new challenges and every life saved was a testament to their relentless commitment to healing. Their story proves that the greatest breakthroughs often emerge from scarcity, not abundance. When resources are limited, ingenuity becomes a necessity, and these doctors turned obstacles into opportunities. For decades, Filipino medical professionals were seen as support staff, quietly working behind the scenes, rarely recognized as pioneers or innovators in their own right. This remarkable team shattered that narrative, stepping boldly onto the world stage as undeniable stars, earning respect and admiration from peers across the globe. Their win is more than just a trophy. It's a revolution of perception, a powerful message to every healthcare worker who's ever been doubted, dismissed, or underestimated. They showed the world that true medical genius is measured not just by skill, but by compassion, resilience, and the ability to innovate under immense pressure. Their simple, life-saving tools addressed urgent problems faced by billions, not just the privileged few, proving that impactful solutions can come from the humblest beginnings. The journey of Dr. Santiago Cruz and his dedicated team is a universal inspiration, a powerful reminder that ingenuity knows no borders, and that the underdogs can, and do, rewrite the rules of medicine for everyone. Dr. Cruz was shaped by the red earth and relentless sun of his rural hometown. He didn't come from an Ivy League school or a gleaming hospital. His real education came from a small clinic in a remote barrio, miles from the nearest hospital. There, he was more than a doctor, he was a lifeline. He treated everything from dengue to childbirth, often with only basic tools and his wits. When supplies ran out, he used fishing line for sutures and bamboo for splints. He diagnosed illnesses through keen observation and deep understanding of his patients' lives. Payment was often a basket of vegetables or a heartfelt "Salamat po, doc." This world, far from polished corridors, gave him a unique perspective. The best solutions must be accessible and affordable. His empathy and resourcefulness defined his approach. Dr. Cruz's background wasn't a disadvantage, it was his greatest strength. He was about to show the world the power of a barrio doctor. For Filipino doctors like Cruz, practicing medicine meant facing unspoken biases. Abroad, their skills were often doubted, their degrees questioned. They were celebrated for compassion, but rarely seen as innovators. At a past conference, Dr. Cruz's low-cost wound care method was dismissed as too simple. The message was clear. Innovation had to be expensive to be respected. This subtle discrimination silenced valuable voices and overlooked frontline genius. Yet doctors like Cruz, hardened by daily challenges, possessed a unique ability to create and adapt. The world was about to witness the power of that ingenuity. The whispers of doubt would soon be drowned out by undeniable success. One sweltering afternoon, as the relentless sun beat down on the tin roof of his small clinic, Dr. Cruz received an unexpected email, an official invitation to the prestigious Global Medical Innovation Summit in Geneva. The message glowed on his smartphone screen, its words both exciting and intimidating. The challenge was clear and urgent: develop low-cost, high-impact medical solutions for emergencies in resource-limited settings. It was a call to action for those who had learned to do more with less, to turn everyday objects into life-saving tools. The Philippine Department of Health recognized this as a golden opportunity to showcase Filipino ingenuity on the world stage, but also as a daunting task that would test their resolve and creativity. They knew they would be competing against powerhouse nations with vast resources, so they needed a team that embodied true resourcefulness, resilience, and the ability to innovate under pressure. Dr. Cruz was the obvious choice. He had built a reputation for turning scarcity into life-saving innovation, often repurposing everyday items into medical devices that saved countless lives. At first, he hesitated, recalling the skeptical glances and dismissive smiles he'd received at past international conferences, where his humble solutions were often overlooked. But this time, it was different. This was more than just a competition, it was a chance for vindication, a moment to prove that innovation isn't limited by budget, but fueled by necessity. With renewed determination, he accepted the invitation, eager to give a voice to doctors like him, those who worked in the shadows, making miracles with what little they had. Preparation meant cataloging years of improvisations, coconut shell nebulizer masks, bicycle pump airway devices, and countless other ingenious solutions born from urgent need. He wasn't just preparing for a contest, he was gathering proof that necessity truly breeds creativity, and that innovation can thrive even in the most challenging environments. Together, the team would show the world that the most powerful medical tool isn't a machine or a drug, it's the human mind, driven by compassion and determination. United by a shared purpose, they were ready to turn adversity into advantage, to transform obstacles into opportunities for hope. The stage was set for a revolution, and the world was about to witness the power of Filipino innovation. Dr. Cruz knew he couldn't do this alone. To tackle the impossible, he needed a team of fellow improvisers, people who could think on their feet and adapt to any challenge, no matter how daunting. The first to join was Dr. Maria Reyes, an obstetrician legendary for her fearless dedication. She was known for handling high-risk births in the most remote villages, sometimes delivering babies by the flickering light of a motorcycle headlamp, braving storms and rough roads to reach her patients. Her reputation for calm under pressure was unmatched. Next came Benigno Ben Aquino, a tech-savvy engineer with a knack for invention. Ben could turn discarded electronics and scrap metal into life-saving devices, often working late into the night to perfect his creations. His resourcefulness was legendary. He saw potential where others saw only junk. Ben bridged the gap between traditional medicine and modern technology, building prototypes from whatever materials he could find. His ability to innovate on a shoestring budget made him indispensable to the team. The final member was Sister Elena, a nurse and nun with decades of experience in disaster zones. She had seen it all, earthquakes, typhoons, and epidemics, and had always been among the first to respond, bringing hope and healing wherever she went. Her encyclopedic knowledge of triage and herbal medicine, combined with deep empathy and a calming presence, made her the team's conscience. She was the heart of the group, reminding everyone of the human side of medicine. Together, they formed a mosaic of frontline experience: Cruz, the resourceful GP; Reyes, the steady and fearless surgeon; Ben, the inventive engineer; and Sister Elena, the compassionate caregiver. Each brought unique strengths, and together, they were greater than the sum of their parts. Their headquarters was a borrowed, cramped room in Manila, a world away from the high-tech labs of their competitors. But what they lacked in resources, they made up for in determination and creativity. They had no big budget, just a shared history of overcoming adversity, and a deep commitment to serving their people. Laughter and camaraderie filled their modest workspace, fueling their resolve. Their greatest asset? The underdog spirit. They believed that with enough heart and ingenuity, they could change the world. United by a common purpose, they were ready to prove that true innovation thrives where it's needed most, on the front lines, in the face of adversity. The dream team was finally assembled, each member bringing their own story, skills, and dreams to the table. Soon, the world would know their names, and the impact of their work would reach far beyond the Philippines. The first challenge: create emergency respiratory support for an infant with no electricity. While others sketched complex devices, the Filipino team used a plastic bottle, aquarium tubing, and a hand pump to build a bubble CPAP for under $5. Sister Elena ensured it could be cleaned with boiling water. Judges were stunned by its elegance and practicality. Next, sterilized surgical instruments without an autoclave. Ben designed a DIY pressure cooker autoclave from a metal pot, pressure cooker lid, and a truck tire valve. They used a charcoal fire for heat and local yeast as a biological indicator. Their solution was robust, electricity-free, and built from market parts. The team wasn't just inventing devices, they were creating survival systems. Their experience became a forge for life-saving innovation. Each challenge turned scarcity into opportunity. The judges saw not just cleverness, but hope for billions. The Filipino team was rewriting the rules of medical invention. The final challenge: manage a mass casualty incident after a simulated earthquake, using only a standard relief box. Sister Elena led triage with colored cloth strips torn from t-shirts. Dr. Cruz and Dr. Reyes improvised chest seals from biscuit wrappers and splints from rolled magazines. For rapid fluid infusion, Ben built an IV pole from a broken tripod and used a blood pressure cuff to speed up fluids. Their teamwork was seamless, a symphony of resourcefulness. They communicated with clear commands and hand signals, not fancy tech. They saw not a box of limits, but a chest of possibilities. The audience was mesmerized. This was their daily reality, not a simulation. As time ran out, all critical patients were stabilized. They had used no advanced technology, just experience, creativity, and teamwork. The auditorium erupted in a standing ovation. The winner was announced, the Philippines. The team stood stunned, then overwhelmed with emotion. Their victory was met with heartfelt applause and newfound respect. Medical journals clamored for interviews. Universities invited them to speak on scarcity-based innovation. Their bubble CPAP was hailed as a breakthrough for infant care worldwide. Back home, they became national heroes, sparking celebration and new investment in rural health. Young doctors were inspired to serve their own communities. Globally, attitudes shifted. Developing nations' doctors gained new respect and platforms. Medical journals created sections for frugal innovation. Dr. Cruz and his team forced a re-evaluation of what excellence in medicine means. The next great breakthrough, it seemed, could come from any small clinic. The tide had turned. The world was finally listening. The Filipino team's triumph is more than a headline, it's a lasting lesson. True medical excellence isn't about prestige or technology, but determination, creativity, and compassion. Their legacy isn't a trophy, but the idea that constraints spark innovation. In a world obsessed with more, they championed the power of less. Their simple solutions could save more lives than expensive tech. Filipino medical professionals are now seen as global innovators. They inspired a new generation to serve their own communities. The journey of Dr. Cruz, Dr. Reyes, Ben, and Sister Elena is a testament to the human spirit. Their victory was for every underdog, every healer ever doubted. They proved the heart of a doctor is the most powerful instrument of all.